Hello and welcome back to Sonny Talk Spurs, and today we're going to be talking about the factors that could derail Tottenham's season. But before we get into this video, if you are new around here, please could you leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell as I'm closing in on 1,000 subscribers, and I'd love you to join me on my Tottenham Hotspur journey. Now, let's get into the video. So during the international break, I've been quite positive on the channel. You know, there's a lot to be happy about. There's a lot to sing and dance about. You know, we've started the season in the Premier League undefeated. We did get knocked out of the Carabao Cup. But apart from that, life under Ange is looking quite good. But we're Tottenham fans. We can't get too far ahead of ourselves. And I thought today I'd talk about, you know, there's a few things playing on my mind which could really derail Tottenham's season. Because a lot of people are now asking questions. Can Tottenham finish in the top four? Can they, you know, cement European football, whether that's 6 or upwards? You know, at the beginning of the season, people were saying Newcastle and Aston Villa and even teams below Brighton, you know, all those teams would finish above Tottenham. But, you know, the start of the season has posed a lot of questions, and where many predicted us to finish 9th and 10th, people are now being more optimistic. But I think there are a few factors to take into consideration, and that's what we're going to sort of chat through today, because there's two glaringly obvious ones that I think people haven't realised in certain areas, especially one which is going to happen in around the January time of the year. So first of all, I want to talk about Tottenham's squad depth, and I believe we had a strong transfer window just gone, but you know, we still could have strengthened in key positions. And my one worry when it comes to this is I do think we have, you know, we've got the bodies and we do have the numbers, but it's the drop-off in players that come into certain positions. And I think you could go for the whole squad and sort of say Vicario's drop off to Forster. You could go with Dogi's drop off to Ben Davies. The centre-back position is a big question mark, you know. Eric Dyer, we don't know what his future holds at the club. And then Ashley Phillips. And then apart from that, so if Romero and Mickey van der Ven get injured, we're pretty scuppered in that position as well. Right back, we've got some numbers, but, you know, there's more question marks over, say, the likes of Emerson Royale. In midfield, if Bissouma gets injured, I have no idea what we'll do. I'm actually panicking because he's such the metronome of that midfield. You know, Sarr's come in and he looks really good as well. Bentancur's obviously out for a little bit longer. Maddison, what happens if he gets injured? We will literally have no creativity in that midfield, because we saw against Fulham, the likes of Skip and Højbjerg, yeah, they can do a job, but I don't think they can work in a midfield together. And then our forward line's actually, I'd say, the least of our worries. Now we've got Brennan Johnson, you've got Son, you've got Richarlison, you've got Solomon. So we have got a nice mixture of players, Kulusevski as well, who will offer a different output. So, and, you know, have a key skill, like whether it's pace, skill, you know, shooting, dribbling. So, but I just worry that in certain positions, the drop-off is massive. And don't get me wrong, there's not many other, you know, apart from Manchester City, most squad depth is pretty much the same in the Premier League. You know, you are going to have a drop-off, but, you know, it does worry me about if we do get a few serious injuries, where that will sort of leave Tottenham this season. Especially as potentially with, you know, the Christmas period, I'm thinking, you know, a lot more games. But we don't have European football and we're out of the Carabao Cup. So could this derail us? You know, it's hard to tell because, you know, all squads and all teams face injuries, but it is a bit of a worry, especially with the likes of Maddison and Bissouma in the team. And then I've got the big one I want to talk about. It's the African Cup of Nations, aka AFCON. And we're going to be losing Yves Bissouma and Pape Matar, who, you know, Bissouma came in this season. There was a lot of people who actually were touting him for a good season, and they're probably right. I mean, he has hit the ground running. You know, he has improved that midfield. He's improved the team. His numbers have gone through the roof. He's playing with confidence. And he's going to be playing for Mali at that time of year, which will leave a massive chasm in our team, which is, you know, I'm sort of, you know, luckily, hopefully, maybe in the window, we bring in another player in that position. But it is a worry. And then Sarr as well. You know, Sarr's coming this season. He scored a goal. He's got an assist against Bournemouth. And there's promise there. And then he could be going off with Senegal. So it fills me with dread a little bit, you know, that that's two massive omissions to a team, you know, that's literally like ripping the soul out of that midfield. Because, you know, although we'll have Maddison, who, you know, Maddison actually, I need to highlight this going forward, but I'll mention that after this. You know, we'll have Maddison there, but, you know, as I say, we might have to bring in Højbjerg, Skip, Bentancur. You hope he's back to fully fitness by then, but there's still question marks. And, you know, when you've got a team that is, you know, set in stone, you sort of want to keep that momentum going. And that's why, you know, I love AFCON as a competition. I think it's great, but the fact it's slap bang in the middle of the season, you know, there's a lot of teams who are losing big players. You know, Anana at Manchester United springs to mind, but God, it does worry me a little bit, but we'll have to see, won't we, come that time of year. And there's also James Maddison. You know, he has hit the ground running, love him to bits, 2 goals, 2 assists. But I read into a little bit of his injury record and some of his Premier League appearances when he's been injured, and it is a worrying read. So we've got to really wrap that guy in bubble wrap. You know, he got a knock the other week and we were all on tender hooks being like, is he okay? You know, is he going to be fit? And yeah, so let's just hope that James Maddison is, you know, cryogenically frozen after every game for Tottenham Hotspur, because, you know, he is so key to what we do going forward. And finally, got to talk about Richarlison. Still not sure about Richarlison. Even on international break, he's been seen tearing up on the bench and, you know, not really hit the ground running for them. You know, people keep using that as an argument. He's Brazil's number 9. But, you know, how long do we keep going back to, oh, he was good at the World Cup? You know, that was months ago now. We're coming up to probably a year. So, yeah, it's one of those things where, I mean, if we're playing some through the middle, how will that affect his, you know, attitude? And he's just got to knuckle down and really prove to Ange that he is the main man and the number 9. And hopefully it can work with Son, Richarlison, Johnson, Son, Richarlison, Kulusevski, you know, and we rotate and we have this really fierce attack in the Premier League. But yeah, we've really got to solve a problem like Richarlison. So there we go. So those are my 4 worries heading into the rest of the season. Let me know, what are your main concerns? Is it one of these 4 things? Or is there something else that has sprung to mind that you think, that's the real reason, which could actually throw a spanner in the works? I know, don't get me wrong, I've been very positive, but I had to put a little bit of a, you know, glass half empty sort of opinion out there because, you know, we're Tottenham Hotspur at the end of the day. You never know what's going to happen at this football club. But I'd like to say a massive thank you for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, leave a like on it. Subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell for every time I go live. I'm closing in, as I said at the beginning, on 1,000 subscribers and would love you to join me on this Tottenham Hotspur journey. And I've been Sonny Talks Spurs, and I'll see you again very soon. And ciao.